Charlie!
Let's go! February 24, 312 Pim. Wright & Co. Law Offices.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Wright. I'm so sorry for my sister said. Domestic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to do. Or for the victim to get the verdict. Ooh. I didn't know that the audience would pop off so hard. I never knew that the SL9 incident was just another name for the Joe Dark killings.
Sounds like everyone's heard about these killings but me.
And I wanted to convict, or wanted Drake Drake.
Yeah, Drake, get the fuck out of here.
Wanted Dark convicted so
You
badly.
caught me on that hotline, please. Taking all of me what day.
That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me.
What do you mean what happened to you?
I was killed by Joe Dark. I'm being
Phoenix,
channeled by
you're a
Maya.
spirits medium.
It's all there in the file. Joe Dark's last victim was Prosecutor Neil Marshall. When he murdered Officer Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence.
But what did you have to do with those killings, Emma?
On the night Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered, Joe Dark tried to kill me.
What? He tried to kill you.
Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, was only trying to save me.
So that means you...
Chat would not bang Joe Dark. God damn. Chat, y'all are cowards.
Yes. I was a witness in the Joe Dark trial.
I didn't see that one coming, even though I read the case report that said that she did.
That's true. But how's Charlie?
Yeah. Mia's plant, Charlie. I've been taking care of him in Maya's absence. Huh? He looks a little yellow today.
Oh, I watered him just now. I mixed in a lot too.
Mixed in? What?
My very own scientific additive. Well, Charlie, you like it?
I told you, he's turning yellow.
This is why we always check on Charlie.
She's giving him the electrolytes those plants crave.
That's true.
It happened 2 years ago. It was right about this time of year too. There was a terrible thunderstorm that day. Unusual for the season. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together once she finished her work. Then suddenly, this terrifying man came bursting into the office.
Oh, dark.
It seemed like he was running from someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. I don't know what he was saying or what was going on. Just then Prosecutor Marshall showed up.
Jake Marshall's brother.
Joe Dark tried to take me hostage, but before he could, Mr. Marshall tackled him. Then,
What happened?
I'll never forget it. Lightning struck and the lights went out suddenly. A bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for an instant. I saw them burn a permanent picture into my mind. I can still see it now.
A permanent picture?
What sort of permanent picture?
What did you see in the instant that the crime occurred?
Dark knocked down Mr. Marshall and raised his knife.
Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl.
I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently I passed out. When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms.
Poor Emma. You've been through so much.
I couldn't bring myself to testify about that instant. I tried, but the words just wouldn't come out. I drew a picture, but it wasn't any good.
2 years ago. You must have been 14. I mean, that's understandable.
Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided that when I grew up, I'd become a scientific investigator. I want to be able to fight crime with my testimonies. And to find the evidence to make an airtight case. That way Lana would never have to forge any.
I see. I'm finally starting to understand what makes Emma tick. But there's still something that bothers me about that crime.
I don't remember the moment when Dark stabbed Mr. Marshall.
Oh, you weren't able to testify about that?
No, I was only asked about when I was attacked. That must be why why she made up the crime.
Made it up? You mean provided bogus evidence?
The prosecutor's office wanted that guilty verdict so badly. Lana forged the evidence and Mr. Edgeworth used it.
Edgeworth?
Yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it.
Wait, what the fuck? Hold up.
I'm watching.
No, I think I saw it too.
I know.
Hold up.
I don't see it.
It hasn't happened. Okay, so Chad said that her eyes occasionally don't blink in secret or like together. No, I saw it happen once. Okay, anyway.
He couldn't have known he was being given false evidence. Even so, that's when it all started.
I think I just saw it.
The rumors about Mr. Edgeworth, I mean, it's all my fault. If I could just have testified properly, none of this would have happened.
Oh, my turn. So it's true, even though we may not have known it. Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence.
After that case ended, Lana was never the same. She became cold like she is today.
She must not have been able to face up to what she did. Especially not to Emma.
Incredibly important. Nope. I was gonna luminal spray Charlie.
Charlie's bleeding. There's something that's puzzling me, Emma.
What is it?
You said you were in Lana's office at that time, right?
That's right.
Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but he was being chased by a prosecutor?
Oh, there's no mystery there. Joe Dark had been taken in for questioning that day.
Taken in for questioning? You mean by the police?
Of course, this happened at the police department. He tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office.
But why did he run all the way over to your sister's office?
Because the detective offices in the questioning room are right across from the elevator.
Across from the elevator? But Lana was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she?
No, silly. Didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective. She was the best in the entire force.
Oh, what? That's news to me.
After the Joe Dark case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor.
Lana used to be a detective? I better have another talk with her.
Yeah, let's have another talk with her.
This is good evidence to know.
Yeah. And we can check out the guy in the back. February 24, Detention Center Visitors Room. Look at that man.
Him?
Lana. Mr. Wright, it seems I keep causing you trouble.
Falsifying evidence. I didn't think you were the type.
Criminals don't mind playing foul, why should we? But Lana, if you're wrong, an innocent person might be found guilty. Believe me, I understand the risks.
Lana. Emma told me about you.
Oh?
About how you were a detective 2 years ago. And how the SL9 incident was one of the reasons for your transfer over to the prosecutor's office.
That's right.
Could you fill me in on the details? Especially about that unusual change of jobs?
I suppose you have a right to know, Mr. Wright.
But how is he doing? Probably still frozen in fear.
This guard monitors the visitor's room. He seems frozen in place, cowering under this room's oppressive atmosphere.
Alright, not bad.
Stuart, get out of my mouth. Okay, hold on, chill. My kitten is trying to eat me. A lot of revelations were uncovered at the trial today, not the least of which was the fact that this case is largely connected to another one, 2 years ago.
Evidence from that case was stolen as well, though I expected as much. I know how oppressive Officer Marshall can be. Obsessive, actually. That trial, it really wasn't fair, was it? I believed in you, Lana. I believed that no matter what happened, you'd always stick to the truth. Couldn't be helped, Emma. At that trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul.
Well, all drama aside, the fact of the matter is, at 5:15 there was no murder at the police department.
Tell me it's not true, Lana. What the witness, Miss Starr, said. About you stabbing Mr. Goodman with a knife? Lana, I don't understand. So why won't you tell us? Emma, this doesn't involve just me.
I don't think I've ever seen Lana look so phased before.
Yeah, normally she turns to the right.
It's true, I was a member of the police force 2 years ago. She was amazing! They still talk about all the cases she and Chief Gant cracked together.
Chief Gant?
He was the deputy chief of police back then, but he still worked the crime scenes. Damon Gant. He was everything I aspired to be. Eyes closed, 7 feet tall. They were the best team ever. They solved crimes before the reports could even be filed.
Emma really idolizes her big sister. But now you're chief prosecutor. What happened?
I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was... You gain experience from investigating crime scenes, so you can use that experience in court, right?
Hey, she did go to law school and stuff, that's right. With Mia.
Yeah. She also has a lawyer's badge.
That's true.
Gant's helping the
Which
SL9.
means she's really cool.
That's true.
Just like us, because we have a...
Actually, chat, you're right. What does it mean to solve a case before it's filed? She found murdered victims before, like, their family members could report them or something. I don't know.
I mean, she's a serial killer.
She's a serial finder. And it's almost as much of a problem.
The police still have to file the report. Like, even if somebody calls it in, right? If you go to the crime scene, then you start filing the case once you...
No, she sniff the air, then like tackle like someone, arrest them, and then they find out what crime they did. It worked every time.
This sounds like internet like vigilante justice.
But it was the government, so it's okay.
Oh, true.
Gant's help in the SL9 case was crucial to its resolution.
Yeah, Chat's right. She walked in on murder and it's like, I figured it out.
She's really impressive.
After that, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office.
Maybe I should ask more about this investigation of theirs 2 years ago.
2 years ago, I was second in command of the detectives investigating Dark.
Second in command? That means the investigation lead was Damon Gant, right?
Yes, show the school a picture of us again. Deputy Chief Gant and I shared the same office and the same investigations.
They even had the same office.
He led a team of the best detectives on the force.
Like Gumshoe?
Detective Goodman, whose case it was, Jake Marshall, and Angel Starr. It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother. He was quite gung-ho. Without a doubt, Joe Dark was the serial killer. We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when his final murder took place.
When he tried to murder Emma.
Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from Dark. You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me.
Oh, well now you tell us.
Damon Gant and Neil Marshall were the ones questioning Dark that day. Their investigation was in its final stages, and Dark must have suddenly panicked. So he waited until Gant and Marshall let their guards down, then fled the room. From there, he ran straight to the office shared by Deputy Chief Gant and myself. That's where he found me.
So, you were the first person to run to the scene, Lana.
It appeared so. I was filing some papers when...
Hey, I thought you did. I guess you already solved the crime. It was fun. Okay, no, I get it. I gotcha. Good job.
While Gant and Marshall were questioning Drake Dark.
Yeah, every time it's Drake.
Get Drake out of here.
Stuart, are you okay?
Oh, Jesus. Drake's dead.
When I returned to my office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood.
3 bodies. Prosecutor Marshall, the victim, Emma, who had passed out.
And the suspect, Joe Dark. During the struggle, it seems Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe Dark had incurred a minor concussion and lay unconscious.
What did you do?
To be honest, I panicked. I picked up Emma, carried her out of the room, and just held her.
I can't blame her. After all, her sister must have gone through.
After that, I placed Dark under immediate arrest.
Let me get this straight. You were all involved in the SL9 incident?
That's right. Quite a coincidence, hmm?
I don't buy it.
What are you saying?
There's no way everyone involved in this trial was also involved in that incident, just by chance.
That case was solved 2 years ago.
At least one person went to extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved.
Officer Marshall. Yes, his actions came as a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he's changed completely. I guess he wasn't convinced with the ruling against Joe Dark.
Yeah, before everything changed, he was Californian.
He still wore the cowboy hat, but he was a surfer, bro.
Life doesn't end with the closing of a case. Everyone has to live the rest of their lives with the memories.
And that case may not be over just yet.
Hmm?
Emma was assaulted by Dark at the... Oh, I thought I said Drake. Emma was assaulted by Dark at the police department, right?
Yes, in the office that Damon Gant and I shared. The office that Mr. Gant now occupies by himself. The chief's office.
Maybe we should have a look at the chief's office. The site of the final SL9 murder.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's schmoove.
We should slide there.
We should slide there. February 24. Police station. Criminal affairs.
I don't see Detective Gumshoe anywhere.
Things seem kind of quiet around here today.
You're right. The chief of detectives seems the same, though.
Why don't we go look for some other people to talk to?
Right. We can come back here later.
I'm passing through.
I think it's the police
Oh.
department. Oh, yeah. You're right. It is. Yeah, you did have to go here first.
February 24. Police department. Entrance.
Huh.
Howdy, Bambina.
Oh, Mr. Marshall.
I never thought things would turn out this way when I woke up this morning. Hey, Sarah, Sarah. You never know where life will lead you, eh, Bambina? Should have known my luck had run out when old Billy dried up this morning.
Billy?
Must be his pet cactus.
My pet dog, actually.
He's out of blood. Say, where are you headed?
Just over to the prospector's office for a little interrogation. It's a voluntary appearance, but we all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, but you can't go in the evidence room today, partner.
Mr. Marshall? Why did you do it?
I do prospectors head west. Gold rush. If ever there was a case I needed to know the truth about, it was this one.
Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, would you mind telling us exactly what happened?
It's like I won't be getting a steak lunch today. Sure. Something was fishy about that trial from the beginning. It wasn't just me either. All the detectives thought so.
What do you mean, fishy?
Some of the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, a murder weapon.
The murder weapon? You mean that switchblade knife with the broken tip?
That was Joe Dark's, all right. But in the initial autopsy report, a question was raised.
A question?
The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound the victim sustained.
Well, what does that mean?
It means there is a good chance that the knife was not the murder weapon. However, in the report that was finally submitted, that possibility had been erased.
The facts have been concealed with forged evidence?
That case left behind scars on all of us.
The scars that the SL9 incident left behind. New topic.
There was something going on behind the scenes in that case. We all knew that later. Every detective involved in that investigation, save one, was taken care of. Star was fired and I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room.
What about Detective Goodman?
They did something to him too. The commissioners would get suspicious. Oh, they were careful enough not to be too obvious.
So they killed him.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Don't get upset, Bambina. I mean Damon Gant and Lana Sky. Investigation lead Damon Gant and his second in command, Lana Sky. Cool picture. There wasn't a person on the force who hadn't heard of that duo.
This
That
is a really
case-
cool picture. They should reuse it more.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That case was the biggest step in both of their careers.
After the case ended, Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office, right?
Yeah, Damon Gant, the new chief of police, arranged for that to happen. She's never been the same since she left. Everyone who knew her said so. Chief Prosecutor Sky was totally different when she was a detective.
Now that he mentions it, Emma said something like that too.
Tell me, what happened to my sister?
Sorry, Bambina, but her secret is too well guarded. I never found out.
Lana's secret. It all started 2 years ago.
I got the looks, but he got the brains. He was one of the best prosecutors around. I just made detective when it went down. It was our first case together.
How old was he, your brother?
He was 27 at the time, but I guess he's deceased now according to the court record. It's my favorite age. He was awarded the highest honor that very day. Being killed, that is.
The highest honor? You mean the...
Yeah, the king of prosecutors.
I knew it.
What are you looking at me like that for? That's an honor for a prosecutor.
Mr. Marshall must have really been close with his brother.
The day the SL9 incident took place, that wasn't the same day as...
That's right. It was the day of evidence transferal.
Interesting.
It was drizzling that morning, and by nightfall there was thunder. I can't believe 2 years have gone by already. I tried to steal the evidence so the case wouldn't die.
Apparently someone tried to stop you. Detective Goodman was murdered, and the evidence locker was empty.
So there you have it. That's my story. Did you enjoy it, partner?
Certainly enlightening.
There's one thing for sure I found out in court today. That boy Edgeworth isn't my enemy. He was the one who used falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict, when someone else was the one who gave him that evidence and planned everything. That someone is Damon Gant. Don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. I won't even be a patrolman after today. Too bad I won't be around to work with you when you become a real scientific investigator. Adios, Bambina. Also, that was the first time I used that bottle popping animation, which I think means I was sucking on it like a pacifier.
Hey, Marshall's crying again. Give him his passy.
Can I not get up to the chief's office this way?
Well, it's at a different location. This is the police station.
Yeah. All right. Well,
It's
we've been
either
here. There's
criminal-
nothing. Oh, wait. February 24. Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department. Shut up.
This place is always pretty empty, but today it's deserted.
Must mean everyone's busy solving crimes.
Why is there a new dial? Oh.
If you're looking for the others, there's all in the conference room. Thanks. Wow, he actually talked to us.
With the chief prosecutor saying what she did, the decision of what to do, we talked about Edgeworth, not to mention a statement to the media at tomorrow's trial. There's more chaos going around than Thanksgiving and Christmas put together.
I think festive is the word usually used for those.
Sir, we'd like to have a look around Chief Gant's office.
Through the connecting hallway to the other building and take the elevator to the top floor.
Really? You mean it's okay for us to go in there? I mean, we aren't police officers or anything.
Hey, you're right. You can't go in there. It's off limits.
Now I see where Detective Gumshoe gets his unique charm.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's head to the chief's office.
Chat, I don't suck on anything like a pacifier, candy or bottle or otherwise.
Does Indy need his passy?
The chief's office. Let's just go. Holy shit. February 24, Police Department, Chief's office.
One word comes to mind and it's Requiem. Whoa, where am I?
In the chief's office, silly. At least that's what it said on the door.
Check out that pipe organ. That's real, isn't it?
Hey, I used to take organ lessons in kindergarten. They used to call me Little Miss Bach.
The instrument or like scientific investigator organs?
I thought I was a genius until... I never could remember where C was.
Oh, it's you two. Chief Gant. He put that paper he was reading on his desk. So, righto. Have you been swimming lately? No, I haven't. Been kind of busy lately. I can appreciate that. I've had my hands full, too, with Miss Marshall's conduct and all, and Lana's provocative statement. Provocative statement? Oh, you mean about the forged evidence? 2 years have passed since that incident. My, how time flies. See that big picture on the wall over there? That's a picture of Lana, Neil, and me. So this is Mr. Marshall's brother, Prosecutor Neil Marshall. We took it to commemorate our work together. Something's not right with this picture. I can't quite seem to put my finger on it, though. I like this picture. It has very useful information.
Yeah. Like that Gant didn't open his eyes until 3, 2, 1.
Anyway, I'd like to reminisce all day, but there are matters that need my attention.
I was like, you're at a stoplight and you're like waiting for it to turn green. And you're like, go, and it turns green.
I'm going to lock up here, so let's go out together.
Oh, up at this office, it was a crime scene 2 years ago, wasn't it?
That case has been long since been over. There's no need to investigate it anymore. I mean, all the same, we'd still like to have a look around. Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said there's no need to investigate it anymore. Well, now hurry up and get out. I've got a meeting to attend.
Looks like we aren't welcome.
Seems that case isn't over with yet after all.
What do you mean?
Chief Gant denied our request to search the crime scene. That means there must be a reason he doesn't want us looking around in there.
You mean like a clue?
A clue! There's got to be a way we can get inside the chief's office.
Holy shit. I know how. Let's move back in there. Okay, nope.
Wait, if we go, we traveled from the criminal affairs department. You
Yeah.
know? Yeah, let's
Oh,
just
yeah.
walk back in.
Oh. February 24, Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department. Hey, pal.
Detective Gumshoe, aren't you supposed to be in a meeting?
I'm Just taking a breather. My feet hurt.
From sitting so long?
Actually, I'm serving everyone coffee.
Damn. Sounds like Detective Gumshoe is still out of the loop.
Now, say, have either of you seen Mr. Edgeworth?
Edgeworth? No. Why do you ask?
He's under fire from both the police department and the prosecutor's office. It's almost like the battles between you and two in court.
That sounds serious.
Is it because of what my sister said?
That's basically what it all boils down to. That falsified evidence 2 years ago. Now Mr. Edgeworth has the whole world after his blood.
Yikes.
But why would Edgeworth be blamed? It's not like he knew the evidence would be forged. Lana Skye is the guilty part here, isn't she?
Regardless, the prosecutor is responsible for the evidence they present in court. Not only that, but as you know, there's been a lot of rumors been going around about Mr. Edgeworth. His amazing talent as a prosecutor has kept him safe from those who don't like him. But now with this,
There are really so many people who hate him?
dog world, only those with talent rise to the top. Mr. Edgeworth not only has that, but he's young. There's no better recipe I know of for making enemies.
Hey, Dick, keep up the good work.
Yes, sir.
Let's go out for lunch again sometime. I treat.
Yes, sir.
You gotta take me back to that joint sometime, okay, Dick?
Yes, sir.
Seems you don't have any problems with enemies.
Yes, sir.
It seems you don't have any problems with enemies.
Yeah, well, careful not to stick out. Anyway, I'm a bit worried about him. Under all this pressure, I'm afraid Mr. Edgeworth just might crack. He would never crack. He would crack under Old Bag. Actually, I took a look at the file earlier while the coffee was
back.
brewing.
What do you mean by that? I'm not reading this till you answer. He seems genuinely concerned for Edgeworth.
I don't know, every single time Old Bag's on screen, Edgeworth is in his like pose. Where's Ace Attorney based? So in the original Japanese, it's somewhere in Japan, but in all international versions, it's in LA. So, yep, you're in America.
This is America. Well, did you find out anything?
The only evidence Dark left behind was during his final attack.
His final attack? You mean?
When he killed Prosecutor Marshall, who was trying to protect some girl.
Hey.
Chat's right, I'm sure he's wearing like a billion layers.
Seems Detective Gumshoe never realized Emma was the girl.
That's when he left the most incriminating evidence of all.
Well, what was it?
Oh, let's see. I think it had something to do with the, other weapon. Oh, I forgot. Look, it's all written somewhere in here, okay?
His powers of recollections never fail to impress.
Maybe we should show him that murder weapon. It might jog his memory.
Let's ask about Dark's crimes first. Joe Dark was 42 at the time of the crime. He was just your run-of-the-mill businessman.
Businessman? What made him take to serial killing?
One day on his way home from work, he hit someone with his car.
With his car? So, it was an accident?
Yeah, he's a serial accident killer. An accident, yes, but it transformed him into an animal.
An animal?
And yeah, he killed a man that witnessed the accident. Then he killed a lady who saw the second crime. A kid walked by just then, so he killed him too. And when he's burying the bodies, a jogger came upon the scene and was killed as well. Finally, he turned himself in.
Seems he was a pretty careless animal.
Of course, this is all conjecture. There wasn't a single shred of evidence.
So he turned himself in?
Yeah, but in the middle of his questioning, he fled and murdered his final victim. Prosecutor Marshall. Now, that crime was witnessed by someone too, but luckily Dark was arrested on the spot. It's a good thing that last witness wasn't killed.
last witness, aka Emma.
Show me that brother weapon.
knife.
Not a truth knife. This bad boy?
Yeah. About this.
Hey, is that...
It has a tag attached to it with the label SL9 incident on it. I believe this would be the broken murder weapon you were speaking of.
What are you doing with that? Ever since that case was closed, that knife's been locked away in a locker.
The day Detective Goodman was murdered, this suddenly disappeared from the locker and was found in Mr. Edgeworth's car muffler.
That's it. Now I remember what that incriminating piece of evidence was. When you showed me that knife, it all came back to me.
Well, what is it, Detective? Quick, before you forget again.
This knife. It was Joe Dark's, wasn't it?
That's right. We traced it back to the store he bought it at. Plus, it had his fingerprints on it, too.
No one actually witnessed him using it to murder anyone, right?
That's where his luck ran out. When you take a good look at the knife, you'll see it's broken.
You don't have to take a good look to notice that.
Yeah, well, anyway, take a guess where the broken off tip of the knife was found. That's what did him in.
Where was it?
The victim, Neil Marshall, was carrying it inside his own body.
Huh?
It was found deep inside the stab wound.
Did it match Dark's knife?
You bet. Down to the last fiber. The knife fiber.
That's pretty conclusive.
Alright. Alright. Well, there you have it in a nutshell. That's all I know.
Can I ask you one more thing?
Oh, what is it? If it's money you need, you should ask Chief Gant.
It's not money, but it does concern the chief. His office is a crime scene, right? It's where Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered.
The chief's out now and his office is locked, but we'd like to have a look around if that's okay.
Well, any detective's ID card can unlock the door.
What? Really?
But if I let a civilian in there, I'd be charged with breach of trust.
Breach of trust?
Simply put, I'd be canned.
Oh,
Sorry, pal. I don't plan on getting fired because of you.
How about this ID card? It was Detective Goodman's.
That won't work either. The data was deleted the day he died.
data was deleted the day he died. Like that sentence.
Yeah, it's a good alliteration.
So in other words, Gumshoe was our only chance of getting into that office.
And what if there's something we can show him that would make him change his mind?
Do we have any steak? Does he want steak?
Yeah, let's try. That's the one that we're supposed to give to Jake Marshall.
Sure.
Otherwise, we can just show him the picture, or the vase. But
Yeah, let's see what he thinks about that. Nope. Share a little advice with you as a detective. If you don't have a clue, keep your trap shut.
I'll keep that in mind.
Sheesh.
Sheesh. You want to show him the vase?
Yeah. About that jar. I think I've seen it somewhere.
Somewhere.
Or maybe it's one of those memories people have from previous lives.
This must be the most uninformative detective I've ever met.
Something about it makes me feel uneasy. Like I'm in the chief's office and he's yelling at me.
Chief Gant.
Where could I have seen that before?
We
Well-
showed the picture now.
Maybe? Nope.
Talk?
Wow, he's just a hitter.
Did we get another talk option?
I think so. Yeah. Should we just like move back, find something else to give him?
No. Wait, go back to evidence.
Yeah, take a look. I mean, I don't think we have.
You're fun. Otherwise we have the 777 ID.
Right. Does he have anything to say about
Yeah.
this? Yep. The D card record, isn't it?
Yes, there's only one number left to investigate. At 4:20 p.m., the victim, Detective Goodman, must have entered the evidence room along with someone else. Someone with an executive officer number.
777777777.
That's 17 too many, Detective. An executive officer. I might just have a hunch.
We might have to come back for that. We still haven't even like checked out. We haven't talked to Edgeworth yet or anything.
Oh yeah, that's right. Edgeworth is real.
What's the best way to get there? Yeah, there we go. February 24. Prosecutor's office, underground parking lot.
No one's here today. Not even Miss Starr.
Everyone's probably busy looking into exactly what went down at the evidence room. That must be where the detectives are.
We proved in court today that on the day of the crime, no one was murdered in the evidence room at 5:15 p.m.
Yeah, I thought we were finally making some headway in our case.
But instead, it looks like we just ended up making Lana look even more guilty.
Hang in there, Lana.
Got to find all the answers by tomorrow.
Okay, let's go upstairs.
Edgy boy! Edgy poo!
February 24. High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202.
I wonder if Edgeworth is back yet.
There he is. It looks like he's writing something.
What are you doing here?
He sure was quick to throw that paper on the floor. Probably a love letter. Tough day in court, huh?
Huh. I've had to live with the past 2 years with rumors flying around. What's another allegation to me?
Cheer up, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm rooting for you.
That's Edgeworth for you. Always trying to hide his real feelings.
So, what do you want? Unlike some people, I don't have all day.
I wonder what he was writing before.
Come on, Mr. Wright. Let's take a look.
Are you crazy? Edgeworth is sitting right there.
Just distract him. I'll check it out.
Hey, Edgeworth. Is that Detective Gumshoe out the window there? Oh no, he's falling to the ground.
Hold on. First, let me see what that girl's doing crawling around my feet.
Didn't even look.
What letter?
You're having trouble reading. I'll read it for you. It says a letter of resignation.
Resignation? Edgeworth, you don't mean?
I'm tired, right? I feel as if something inside me has died.
But Mr. Edgeworth, none of it is your fault.
I know the path I've walked. You don't need to tell me. And the path I've walked hasn't been a just one. I can't forgive myself for what I've done. And no one else should forgive me either.
I think he's serious.
Mr. Wright, please, you have to do something.
This letter of resignation. Wonder if I can use it for anything.
Whoa.
Gumshoe?
True, yeah, we're gonna threaten Gumshoe with Edgeworth quitting. What do you have to say, Edgy Poo?
Now, there's no excuse for what I've done. 2 years ago, I used false evidence to obtain a guilty verdict. That's what it all breaks down to, and nothing I can do can ever erase that fact.
But you didn't know, did you? I mean, the evidence was falsified.
The police department and the prosecutor's office share a bond of trust. That bond is broken and we stand to lose everything. The police department's error is my error, my responsibility as the prosecutor in charge. That fact remains the same no matter what excuses I might have.
Mr. Edgeworth?
I take pride in my work. So tell me why. Why has it all come to this?
Even Edgeworth can't keep this kind of emotion bottled up.
What about tomorrow's trial?
Are you up for the trial tomorrow?
Huh. First last year's trial, now this one. Seems all you do is worry about me. To be honest, you're getting on my nerves.
But Mr. Edgeworth, you can't just walk out on the trial.
Tomorrow is the last day. It's too late to change prosecutors. I'll bet that's what my superiors are banking on. I never thought that case would come back to haunt me like this.
What do you mean?
The list of evidence, it seems too short. Most lists run twice as long.
It's only half as long as most lists? That is odd.
After Neil Marshall was murdered, I became prosecutor for that case. I may not have been part of the investigation, but I knew what I had to do. Use the evidence I was given to prove that suspect guilty. That was really the only thing on my mind at the time.
Say, we just saw a picture taken around that time.
That picture. Something seems strange about it.
So let's ask about this first.
Could you tell us again about what happened that day? The day Detective Goodman was murdered? You were participating in a ceremony over at the station, right?
I've never cared for ceremonies, but I had to attend that one.
Because you were awarded this?
Those receiving awards can't exactly skip out on the ceremony. I finished up at the office in the morning, then drove over to the police department.
You finished up at the office.
Yes, just odds and ends, clerical stuff. I didn't plan on returning to the office that day. That is, until I was asked to take something back.
Take something back?
This.
Oh yeah, Chief Gant asked you to hold on to that, didn't he?
Yes, it was a piece of evidence in a case that was closed half a year ago. He asked me to bring it back to the prosecutor's office.
That's the story we heard yesterday. So you came back here to the prosecutor's office because the chief asked you to?
That's right.
Sus.
Sussy, sus, imposter, sus.
You want to present him our lawyer's badge? Oh.
Oh yeah, we should.
This picture was hanging on the wall in Chief Gant's office.
Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He had just started making a name for himself. Looks like this was taken when he received the King of Prosecutors trophy.
Speaking of that, there's something that bothers me.
Yes?
The trophy Mr. Marshall is holding, it's a little different than yours.
Yes, you're right. Ah, I remember now.
Remember what?
That was what the official prosecutor's trophy looked like until 2 years ago. There's a story behind its design.
A story?
Sounds interesting. Would you mind telling it to us?
It's simple, really. Contradiction. That's what the award's based on.
Yeah?
And the award originates from an ancient Chinese tale. In Chinese, the word contradiction is written with 2 characters. The first means halberd, and the second means shield. Have you heard this story?
Me? Oh, sure. Everyone knows that. Why don't you tell it, though, for Emma's sake?
Very well. Long ago in the kingdom of Chu,
Why is the questioning music playing?
there was an arms merchant. One day he presented the king with 2 items. The first was a halberd. He claimed could slice through any shield or armor. The second was a shield he claimed could withstand any weapon.
Wait a minute. Those claims contradict each other.
Very perceptive. But then again, you've heard of the story before, right? Anyway, as you mentioned, the very descriptions of these items discredit them both. When the king pointed this out, the merchant was left speechless. And thus the Chinese word for contradiction was born.
Oh, I see. So the chipped shield and the broken knife symbolize...
Precisely so. They symbolize the merchant's items. The ancient tale ends with the merchant at a loss for words, but it's in our nature to pursue matters to their conclusion, even if it results in something as ugly as this.
Wow, thanks, Mr. Edgeworth. I learned something new today.
That's funny. If that's so, then why were you only given a shield?
You'll have to ask Chief Gant. 2 years ago, he had the halberd part of the award abolished.
Chief Gant. Huh. The more I hear about this Gant guy, the more I feel like he's important to this case.
Yeah. Maybe we can harass Gumshoe now.
Yeah. Let's blackmail a cop.
February 24, Prosecutor's Office, Underground
Angel
Parking
Star.
Lot. Definitely Angel Star.
Excuse me. Let's go. Would either of you care for a quarter-pound of roast beef? Miss Star! I guess she's out of lunches. You certainly are the curious sort, aren't you? Kind of like the first person who sucked a cow's nipple to discover milk.
Chat, to answer your question, we stream this game Sundays from 2 to around 5. This will probably run a little long since we have some more stuff to do.
We have more nipples to suck.
We have more nipples to suck. Wow. Every Sunday. Thanks, Jeremy.
Still, I never thought you'd go digging up that case from 2 years ago. Well, everyone in this trial was involved in the SL9 incident. Not only that, but the murder occurred on the very day the evidence from that case was due for transferal. This can't be all attributed to mere coincidence. Huh. Aren't you forgetting something? You know that little scene I happened to witness? The instant Lana stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. No matter how much of the past you dig up, it won't change what I saw. Roast beef is meant to be savored when eaten.
What?
The Star's hatred towards Lana. It all dates back to 2 years ago. Joe Dark. That's a name I will not soon forget. We trailed him for half a year. All the pressure. Still, I don't think I was ever more alive than I was then. Those days were steamier than a bowl of hot gravy. Poor old Jake Marshall, though, must have been going through hell. You mean because of his brother's death? They were close, those two. After Neil died, something took over Jake. He became obsessed. Seeing Jake like that made her all the more desperate. Her? Lana Sky.
My sister?
The best of the best were put on that SL9 case. Of course, they were led by that legendary duo.
Lana and Chief Gant.
A nice photo.
Okay.
Damon Gant and Lana Sky. Gant led the investigation with Lana second in command. They were the best.
Solved all kinds of cases together, didn't they?
Damon Gant's magnetism in particular was almost unreal.
I was asking why Angel doesn't have any teeth.
She discovered Milkman, I don't know what to tell you. His magnetism? By that I mean his ability to attract evidence. He produced the most incredible evidence in the cases he handled. Incredible evidence? You mean... Oh yes, there were rumors about him even back then. No one dared confront him, though. Take it she's talking about forged evidence. Back then, everyone looked up to Lana. All the detectives wanted to be like her.
Really?
Oh yes, myself included. I was a fool, really. She hated everything crooked and always watched out for the other detectives. That's why she was concerned for Jake.
Mr. Marshall.
When Jake's brother was murdered, she felt as if she had lost her own brother. If it wasn't for her, I don't think Jake would have ever recovered from his shock. That's what makes it all the more infuriating.
Miss Star?
That's why I'll never be able to forgive her. Why did she have to turn so cold after that?
Dots.
That legendary pair was the reason we were able to keep up our investigation. That's why we were so shocked over how it turned out. You mean with the forging of the evidence? Don't get me wrong, Joe Dark got what he deserved. Still, it was obvious the evidence produced in court was being manipulated. Items our team never found would suddenly appear, while other items were kept secret.
You don't have any proof anything illegal was done.
I'm proof enough of what happened. After that case, all of us, save Goodman, were relieved of our duties. Most without even so much of an explanation. Then Lana Sky transferred to the prosecutor's office and became chief prosecutor.
Lana always wanted to be a prosecutor.
Things quite as simple as it appeared.
Huh?
Lana Sky was merely being used as a pawn. That's my take on the matter. She's being used. Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office 2 years ago, didn't she? Yes, I think to Chief Gant's powerful influence.
Chief?
That's right. Having solved this SL9 case, his position as chief was secured. There was only one thing left for him to control, and then no one could stand in his way. The prosecutor's office. What? You mean, that's why Lana was transferred? Control the chief prosecutor, then he controlled the prosecutor's office. That must have been his goal all along.
But how could he control Lana?
I don't know, but one thing's for sure. Ever since that case ended, she's never been the same. Only logical to conclude. There must have been a reason for her change. At last, I'm finally getting close to the bottom of this ugly mess. Well, thank you, Miss Starr. You listen to me, rookie. It takes more than just ingredients to create fine cuisine. I hope you turn out to be a better chef than I've been.
Let Phoenix Wright cook.
Bars.